Oh, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. This is Jeff from Fluent American here at the Schwa Mill, where every single Saturday we help you craft your accents. Now, normally we do run this show at 1:30 p.m. New York time, but we have some obligations that kind of came up today, so that's why we're doing a late night stream. But we will be back at 1:30 p.m. New York time next week, looking at more pronunciation files. But that's our whole goal today. We're here to help you craft your accent by listening to pronunciation files that you send us so that way we can help you achieve your pronunciation goals, whatever they may be, in American English. I do want to walk you through the process so that way you know how to send in your own pronunciation in case you'd like us to take a look at one of your files. What you're going to do is use a website that I have firstly posted in the chat box. Okay. Hello to Shoke checking in. Great to see you as always, Miss. Thank you for joining us here. This is the document where you can submit your files. You can also find this in the video description. And once you're there, you're going to see this screen. And just a couple things that you're going to see. You're going to see you can put down your name, and you can see some people have put down these files. And what you'll want to do, if you want to send in your own pronunciation, is you're firstly going to want to go to a website right at the top where it says go to vocaroo.com. And when you go to vocaroo.com, it's going to look something like this. You might see a big record button. You press that button, you press save. You can then get a link. You can post that link into our document, and then that's all you need to do on your end. Then you can just sit back, relax, and listen to us as we listen to your file and give some suggestions. Of course, as we're talking about people's pronunciation files too, if you have a question about pronunciation, about English, about life, we'll also be happy to do our best to help you out there as well. I'll be honest, guys, I'm a little bit under the weather, a bit of a sinus infection going on right now. So tonight's stream might be a little bit fast, but our goal is to be as effective as possible. So, without further ado, I think that kind of wraps up everything I need to describe for you on my end. And so let's get into your pronunciation files.
Oh, let me add myself there, right? Again, it's not little, it's more little.
The G host was class.
Are you feeling that here, or here?
All right, so I'm going to share my screen and share my audio so that way we can begin listening to your files and giving some suggestions in American English. Kind of just picking files at random right now. Okay, so let's take a listen to our first one here.
So the weekend is about to start, and I thought I'd share my vacation plans with you. In fact, we haven't decided on anything yet, but most likely we go somewhere in the south.
Perfect. Okay. I'm also going to give you guys a text in case you kind of just get an idea what the words were. That one more time.
I always ask a lot of questions.
I always lose the file.
Yeah, but therefore.
Always lose the file.
So the weekend is about to start, and I thought I'd share my vacation plans with you. In fact, we haven't decided on anything yet, but most likely we go somewhere in the south.
Okay. Some immediate words are kind of standing out to me. When you say, so the weekend is about to start, that is very, I don't want to call it very strong, but it's very noticeable. And I think typically it's going to be a little bit more reduced and weaker. The other thing that's kind of jumping out to me immediately too is somewhere. Let's kind of build up to it though. So take a look at the first half.
So the weekend is about to start.
Like weekendies. So firstly, I feel like I'm hearing a E sound on is versus a short I sound, which is the goal. So again, is, it's not ease. The other thing I'm going to say is that it sounds like you're giving me the same pitch on weekend and on is.
So the weekend is about.
It's like weekendies. And in general, English doesn't like that when multiple syllables in a row all have the same pitch. The general thing that American English will want is for the stressed part to be your highest pitch and then everything else moving down. It's like weekend is, that's probably the more natural pattern there. So the weekend is about to start. Just a note there.
So the weekend is about to start, and I thought I'd share my vacation plans with you.
Instead, I thought I should just a grammar note. It should be like I thought I would share, and I thought I would share my vacation plans with you.
And I thought I'd share my vacation plans with you.
Or you could say I thought I'd share with the contraction. That's another option.
Share my vacation plans with you.
Same thing with. Again, I'm hearing an E sound versus a short I.
Plans with you.
With you versus with you. With you. Another thing too is that there might be some situations where with has a voiced th sound, like a with, but I think in general it's a voiceless sound. If you just see with by itself, it's actually ending on a voiceless th. So instead of with, more with. A very common thing I see with students.
Thought I'd share my vacation plans with you.
I thought I'd share my vacation plans with you. I thought that in general that pattern is pretty natural. You could take your high higher and your low lower. I thought I'd share my vacation plans with you. So notice that I went a little higher on vacation there, and then I went a little lower pitch on with you.
Vacation plans with you. In fact, we haven't decided on anything yet.
In fact,
we haven't decided on anything yet.
we haven't decided on anything yet. So you're putting a lot of stress on anything. We haven't decided on anything yet. And I think that's fine. This might be a good phrase to put into Youglish to kind of see how other people are saying it, because I think the more common stress will be on decided. We haven't decided on anything yet. We haven't decided on anything yet.
In fact, we haven't decided on anything yet.
See how that changes the rhythm? We haven't decided on anything yet.
But most likely we go somewhere in the south.
Most likely, again, I would probably use the future here. So instead of most likely we go, most likely we'll go. Will. So like we will, most likely we'll go somewhere in the south. That's something I would also play with there. I think that's a little bit of a grammar thing.
In fact, we haven't decided on anything yet.
I do like your rising intonation on yet, because that implies there's more information coming. Yet, good.
But most likely we go somewhere in the south.
I also like that you're shifting your pitches, and this is really important across thought groups. You don't want to always be in the same pitch. So I like that. We haven't decided on anything yet, but most likely we'll go somewhere in the south. So notice that second half is just at a lower pitch, and I think that sort of movement is very natural.
Anything yet? But most likely we go somewhere in the south.
Yeah. I'm going to move on to our next file, but those are kind of the first initial things that stand out to me. Thanks to Sycamore for sending this file. We do appreciate it. And you guys can let me know if you also find that helpful too. Lots of good stuff there. So that's our first feedback, and that again gives you an idea of everything that we're talking about right now. Okay. Take a look at another file here. This one's a shorter one, just 5-second file.
Wait, what? I thought John was supposed to pick you up at the airport.
Okay, like the sense of confusion going on here is good.
Wait, what? I thought John was supposed to pick you up at the airport.
Okay. One thing I just heard right there really quick was a like peak versus pick. So just kind of, again, watching out for those short I versus E sounds, like difference between like sit and seat, or like live and leave, or hit and heat. So again, I feel like pick versus peak in this situation, I thought it was a little bit more of an E sound. Just a note. There's our text, by the way. Play it one more time.
Wait, what? I thought John was supposed to pick you up at the airport.
Yeah, pick you up versus pick you up. Thanks for Shoke for letting us being helpful. I appreciate that. Shoke's the best. Good for Shoke. Okay, so some things I like about this file here.
Wait, what?
Wait, what? Wait, what? I like the pitch shift, like wait, what? Wait, what? That conveys a lot of surprise, like the emotion you're conveying there. Good stuff.
I thought John was supposed to pick you up at the airport.
Again, the pick you up is probably the biggest thing that stands out to me in terms of like vowel or consonant things to shift.
John was supposed to pick you up.
I thought John, I like what you're doing with John, having that as a really high pitch as your stressed word. That's great.
John was supposed to pick you up at the airport.
Yeah, pick you up at the airport. I thought John was supposed to pick you up at the airport. Yeah, I like Emmanuel and I have been working on pitches and things like that. specifically lower pitches. And one of the things that you can hear on this file is just how low we get.
Wait, what? I thought John was supposed to pick you up at the airport.
So notice there the movement. I thought John was supposed to pick you up at the airport. And that's a movement that I think in the past Emmanuel wasn't using as often, but is one that's super frequent. And I like how it's sounding here. I think that sounds really good. Play again.
Wait, what? I thought John was supposed to pick you up at the airport.
Yeah. Besides that, those are kind of the main things that stand out to me. Just watch out for pick. I like your intonation patterns. I like your stressed words. I like your playing with pitch. I think you're doing a lot of good things here. Emmanuel, you can let me know in the future whenever you get a chance to see this if you have any questions about that. But overall, I thought that was a pretty good file. All right, we're going to move right along to our next file. Guys, if you want to help me out on the stream, here's something that you can do.
Like what you're hearing? Let us know by liking and subscribing.
Long file here. Let's do another quick one. Just gonna see what we got going on.
Whoever's trying to bring you down is already below you.
All right. Marcos, as always, drop in the words of wisdom.
Whoever's trying to bring you down is already below you.
I think this kind of stands in contrast to the file that we just listened to, because the pitches here are so much more controlled and limited, in the sense that we're just not taking the highs as high and we're not taking the lows as low. And the result of that is I don't think it sounds flat, but I do think we have some opportunities to convey some extra emotion here.
Whoever's trying to bring you down is already below you.
Okay. To give an example of those pitches that I'm talking about, just some things to kind of notice here. So what are some pitches that are sounding a little similar?
Whoever's trying to bring you down.
Whoever is trying to bring you down. Like, it just sounds like whoever, trying, bring, and down are almost all hitting the same pitch.
Whoever's trying to bring you down.
Okay. And in general, English is going to want more variation. You know, what's our heavy stress? Like, if you're stressing whoever, like whoever is trying to bring you down, whoever is trying to bring you down. Notice the difference now. Whoever, that has my high pitch. And then after that, I just keep going down, 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 down. So no two words really have the same pitch level. And that goes for the second half as well.
Bring you down is already below you.
Is already below. Is already be. It's like these pitches are all as well are kind of blending together and just kind of being repeated. Where again, in general in American English, you want more variation. Is already below you. Is already below you. If I stress below, that's what it would sound like. Is already below you. You could also instead stress below. Is already below you. Or you could stress already. Is already below you. You know, things like that. Just kind of playing around with the pitches to just add more contrast to your speech. I want to take a listen to some vowel and consonant sounds, see what we got going on.
Whoever's trying to bring you down is already below you.
Some things, this is turning into the stream of the short I versus the E sound. Again, we're getting some confusion between I and E. We can hear this on is. Can you hear the difference between E's and is? John, you want the second one? Is. Trying. I feel like I'm hearing trying versus trying. And we also see that in the is later. I want to hear bring to see if it's happening there too.
Whoever's trying to bring you down.
It's happening there a little bit, like bring you down. Okay. Versus bring you down. Okay. So like whoever is trying to bring you down is already below you. So just some things to kind of pay attention to there.
Whoever's trying to bring you down is already below you.
Okay. In terms of pitch patterns, I like the second half a little bit more. Is already below you, because I like how low you are taking the low. So I do like that. Some other things going on. What's up to Rameza? Rameza is so nice to me. She said she will stop by a stream and here I appreciate that. Great to see you. Hope you're doing okay. And Mr. Go Big Go Home.
Questions.
Valuable questions here. What does no pun intended mean? It means that you're saying something that people could interpret to be a joke, but it's not actually a joke. It's kind of ironic though, because a lot of times when people say no pun intended, they actually do mean to be making a joke. Yeah. Without some context, it's kind of hard to explain that. So if you saw that in a specific situation, feel free to let me know and I can give some better explanations. Okay. Some other questions here. What's up, Carmen? Great to see you. Says that I'm working to learn fluent American English, but I want to speak very accurate and rapid communication, but specifically with Americans. So how can I improve it? Great question. I mean, it would be nice to know how are you currently studying right now. Before I can give suggestions on things to change. What I would say is that you want to speak very accurate. What do you mean by accurate? Does that mean we're going for like very strict grammatical accuracy, or are we going for natural? Because in a lot of ways, I'm not going for accuracy. I'm going for natural sound. So I want to know what your specific goals are, though. Something that's accurate might not be the most natural sounding. And rapid in communication, but specifically with Americans. Are you currently working with Americans? How often are you interacting with Americans? That's another question that I have. See, Remains is saying they don't break promises. I believe it. Okay. Besides that, though, first things first. I mean, how often are you interacting with native speakers? If your goal is to get better at that, there's no secret. Can you find more ways to interact with native speakers? That would be the very first thing I would recommend, finding as many opportunities to speak with native speakers as possible. Okay, they have websites, for instance, like meetup.com. Talk more about opportunities for interacting with native speakers. You can set your location there to like New York, and then you can find things that are happening in the United States that you can become a part of online, because many events are held online. So that's probably the very first thing I would recommend. In addition to that, shadowing. So I can say that, for instance, on our channel, give me a moment, I will show you. So shadowing is super important. Modeling speech. One can see, for instance, here channel, just after what shadowing is. Shadowing, you hear a file, or you hear someone talk, and then you immediately repeat after it. So I would recommend, if your goal is to get better with your speech, doing shadowing exercises for 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. You don't have to use these, but these are videos that are specifically designed for shadowing. So I definitely would recommend starting there. But yeah, I would start incorporating shadowing more often. I would be studying. Lastly, I would be really focusing on concepts like breath. Breath is how we link sounds together naturally in American English. For instance, right now when I'm talking, this is all in one breath. I'm not pausing to breathe. I'm going from vowel sound to vowel sound, and this is allowing all the words to flow. I'm also weakening my consonant sounds. If this is something that you're finding helpful, in my opinion, there's four key a natural. Those concepts are breath, placement, and sounds. Goal is to really achieve a more natural sound in English. Which walks through all of those things. It talks about breath, placement, pitch, and weakening consonant sounds. So that might be another thing that you want to consider if you're interested in trying to sound more natural. I do hope that's helpful. Marcos, we'll go back to your file soon. I just want to make sure we wrap up some of these questions here. Okay. Jorge, thank you so much for spending some time with us. I appreciate that. They ask the difference between inside and within. Good question. I mean, I can tell you, first of all, frequency. Within is going to be much less frequent than when inside. Okay, so that's not to say that within is wrong, but in terms of which one do you need to prioritize, I would start with inside. I wouldn't start with within. Another thing I would really recommend here is, I think with vocab, it's important to learn vocabulary in context. And I think a lot of people, when they're learning vocab, they're just kind of learning one word at a time, which, makes sense. But we don't just talk one word at a time. We talk with words linking with other words, right? So if you're interested, for instance, in like, okay, I want to know what do I use with within, or what do I use with inside. Here's one strategy that you can kind of start doing. And I'm sorry, I know I'm not really giving you a textbook definition of what's the difference between inside and within. It's difficult with prepositions because a lot of times with prepositions, you're in situations where you either know it or you don't. So I think something that can be more helpful is trying to just get some lots and lots of examples. So if I put within, uh, let's see, within a blink of an eye, within a month, within a vein. So notice that I typed in within in Google and I typed in and this is what I'm starting to get. Now let's try maybe like the. It's like within the wires, within the hour, um, within the next week. So one of the things I'm seeing a lot of like within plus time. It's like I'll do it within an hour, or do it within a week, and things like that. So I'm seeing that a lot. So I would just type in within and just type in different words, um, within days, again within hours. Okay. Um, it's the same thing with like inside. It's like inside. All these are like, it's hard because these are all shows and things like that. Inside a kangaroo pouch. People are curious about things. Inside a black hole, inside a car, inside a volcano. So I'm seeing a lot more physical things. Within I saw a lot more time, but now with inside, I'm seeing a lot more animals, but also like places and things too. So that's kind of how I would get started studying those words. I do hope that's helpful. I know that's not a direct answer to your question, but I hope that can start leading you on a path to better understanding. And thanks for the kind words, dear. I appreciate that. Carmen adds a note. At this moment, I can understand you and also your accent because I'm listening to you for the last 2 months. Thank you so much for that support. I do appreciate that. Again, lots of things specifically how to pronounce words. That's great. I'm glad that you're feeling comfortable listening to me. Hope most people can understand me relatively okay. Yeah, I would be really focusing on breath exercises to link sounds more. I would be focusing on trying to get my vowels to stand out. Um, Depending on your first language, Carmen, for instance, if you speak a language, I'll put it this way: a lot of languages tend to be very consonant focused, and that leads to a very choppy sound. So that's where strengthening your vowels is going to be very helpful. Another thing too is that a lot of languages are very flat and not moving very often in pitch. So I would be doing pitch practice. Can you go down on a sound like 5 times, like this, 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 this? Can you take that low point and go back to your middle? It's like this, 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 this. Can you go up 5 times, like this, 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 this? Can you go back to your midpoint? This, 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 this. Can you do all of that? Like this, 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 this. You want to be able to kind of be able to cycle through these things. You can also link all those together, like this, and then this, this, this. And the reality is too that when you listen to native speakers talk, there's going to be times when they use those highs and when they use those low pitches. Are you using those pitches in your own speech? I mean, that's something you'll have to answer for yourself. Lots of great questions there. I appreciate you guys asking them. If you have some others that come up, sure, let me know. I do want to finish up with Marcos's file. This is one that we had started some time ago.
Whoever's trying to bring you down.
I think I mentioned earlier again about the pitches. I think one of the things that's also happening with the pitches too is that we're just stressing a lot of words. In that first section, you're stressing every other word.
Whoever's trying to bring you down.
Whoever is trying to bring you down. This is the impact that having higher pitches has on your sentence because it makes it sound like you're stressing every other word. Versus if I just have one stress, whoever is trying to bring you down or whoever's trying to bring you down, now what I've done is I've removed some of the stresses and it's allowing me to flow a little bit more. So I would really work on cutting out some of those stresses, in all honesty. I hope that is helpful, Marcos. If you have some other questions about anything that I've mentioned, be sure to let me know. But thank you so much for sending that file. Hey guys, if you're finding this helpful, just a note, we do things like this Monday through Friday. We have a group called Mission English, and this is definitely not for everybody, but I can kind of show you what it looks like. Mission English is a private Facebook group where we do live streams talking about things related to American English. Kind of like what we do today. What we do. Excuse me while I try to get some things ready. But like I said, we're live streaming in this group Monday through Friday, 2 times a day. And this is the schedule that we're currently using. And basically, you can join me on screen. And we work together. And you can ask me questions on screen. And you can, again, it's like kind of like Skype or Zoom, but just with a couple other people. And each session is about a half hour. And we spread it across different time zones. So for instance, if that 1:30 p.m. time works well for you, well, we do that on Monday, we do that on Tuesday, and we do that again on Friday. Maybe that 8 o'clock p.m. New York time is good for you. Well, we do that on Monday, we do that on Wednesday, we do that on Thursday. So these are all different things that we have going on. And because it's on Facebook, there are a couple of advantages that Facebook lets us do. For instance, because it's on Facebook, what we can do is we can have all of our pre-saves. So you can see that was from Friday. This was also from Friday. Okay, you can see sometimes it's just me. Sometimes it's 2 students. Sometimes it's 3 students. Sometimes it's 1 student. And we just kind of talk about different pronunciation questions and work through words and things like that. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, you want to work on your breath, your placement, your pitch, your vowel sounds, these are again the 4 key concepts, and you also want to do it consistently, well, that's what our group is all about. So we'd love to work with you there. Questions. Asking the real questions. Do I have a sore throat? Good question. So we have had some crazy temperature changes going on. Like it'll be like 0 degrees at night, and then some days it'll jump up to like 20, 25 degrees during the day. So these temperature changes also bring in huge like pressure. There's a lot of like air pressure changes, and that has just been destroying my sinuses in the last week. So that is what you're hearing. If you're hearing this nice, rich, sultry, low voice, that is why. just dealing with my sinuses. What can I say? Let's take a look at some more files. What say you guys? All right, this is our next one here.
Strumming my pain with his finger, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song.
All right, not an easy song to sing. Good job, Shok. I appreciate it. Shok is just always bringing it with the literary stuff, the music. I was not aware that this song was by Roberta Flack. I was not aware of that. Okay. Always a little bit tricky with songs, but we'll see what are some things that we can identify really quick. And of course, Shok, if you have some questions, be sure to let me know.
strumming my pain with his finger.
Okay, what I would say there, yeah, lots of breath coming through, and that's great. There are some words here that can be a little bit challenging for that. So firstly, pain. Okay, strumming my pain. Okay, so that tends to be a word that can be a little bit tricky. Some people are doing like pain and things like that. So by keeping that open, I think you're doing a great job. I like how you're saying pain. Same thing with fingers. That R sound does tend to close, and I like that you're keeping that open. Okay. Showcasing support for Mr. Go Big, Go Home. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Carmen is also asking a quick question here. If it allows us to live chat. Okay. Definitely understand, looking for that. The biggest suggestions I give right now are you can send us an audio file, or that's again what we do programs like Mission English. That's the whole reason why we do those sorts of programs too. So if that's something you're interested in, I would definitely look into our Mission English program. Okay. Or send us an audio file for today so that we can hear it. Other things here.
Singing my life with his words.
The other thing that I'm liking about this file too is just, again, the pitch ranges, because this is a little bit in contrast to the previous file. We're starting off high and then we're ending at a low position.
Singing my life with his words.
Like, compare how low we are at the end of words to how high we were with singing.
Killing me softly with his song, killing me softly.
Yep. And again, you can see that juxtaposition there between Killing Me Softly was his song, Killing Me Softly. You can hear the pitch shifting. So again, good movements there.
With his song, telling my whole life.
I like how you're saying whole life there.
Song, telling my whole life.
Because I like what you do with whole. Like, it starts off with a dark L sound. It's like whole. Okay. And then it shifts to that lighter L sound on life. It's like whole life. Instead of saying whole life, instead you're linking it with a dark L sound into a light L sound. And I think that transition was very smooth.
Whole life. With his words, killing me softly with his song.
Yeah. Those are kind of the main things I have here. I like what you're doing with pitch. I think you're doing a great job with breath and things like that. I'm definitely not a singing coach, so I can't give you a whole a lot of info beyond that. But good stuff. I really enjoy hearing what you've done with this show. Good stuff. And always, sending in like songs and things like that. Appreciate the courage. Like, that's good stuff. Okay, check into our files again. And again, if you would like to send us a pronunciation file, you want us to take a listen to your pronunciation, give some suggestions, there is still time, but not a whole lot, but still a little bit of time left to do that. You can go to this document here and send us a pronunciation file, so that way we'll be able to hear you and give some suggestions for your pronunciation. We would love to be able to do that. Got this file from R. Let's take a listen to this. Let me just do a timestamp as well.
I always ask a lot of questions during the lectures because I believe that it's a lot better than passive listening to your professor speak, and that really makes your knowledge a lot more permanent.
Okay. Midas always wants to do weird things with my time. Some things are jumping out at me here.
I always ask a lot of questions during the lectures.
Like, I always ask a lot of questions during the lectures. Okay. Reza, this is you. Thanks for sending us a file.
I always ask a lot of questions during the lectures.
I think we could smooth. I like this. I think your vowel sounds are coming really in clearly.
I always ask a lot of questions during the lectures.
I do think at times the consonants are a little strong.
I always ask a lot of questions during the lectures.
Here, like lectures. Also, maybe a little bit questions.
A lot of questions during the lectures.
Like questions during the lectures. Can you just, I would say, like, try to say that phrase like 5 times as fast as you can in one breath, just to try to get things a little smoother. Questions during the lectures, questions during the lectures, questions during the lectures, questions during the lectures, questions during the lectures. Because, if you're doing like questions during the lectures, and things like that, that can be a sign that the consonants are getting a little bit heavy. I don't think it's anything like bad or too much, but just kind of something to take a look at.
Questions during the lectures.
Also, want to hear lectures again?
Lectures.
I would say that lectures, that last syllable.
Questions during the lectures.
Shures. How do you make a Z sound? Like when you make a Z sound and you hold it for a couple seconds, do you get like a Z, lectures? Or when you make a Z sound, do you get more of a Z, Z? Can you hear a difference between Z and Z? I think you're getting a higher one, like that Z. Lectures versus a lower placement. Lectures. So I would say just trying to lower your placement on those Z's. And this isn't just for Z. This is like for N sounds. Like, do you do like a or an or your M sounds? Do you like an or do you do and things like that? So in general, American English, again, we're going for a lower placement, trying to project from a lower position with lots of air moving through. So that's something that I would definitely take a look at
during the lectures, because I believe that it's a lot better than passive listening to a professor speak.
Professors, watch out for that second syllable. It said professors, more professors. Like for instance, the letter S. This is your best, or like get, or head. Professors, S. So just watch out for that vowel there.
Lectures, because I believe that it's a lot better than passive listening to a professor speak.
I think it's a lot better I like what you're doing with pitch. I believe it's a lot better.
Lectures, because I believe that it's a lot better than passive listening to.
I think it's a lot better than passively listening to. So I like what you're doing with your pitches. It's a lot better than passively listening. So you go high and then you drop down again. I like that movement a lot. Good stuff.
Lectures, because I believe that it's a lot better.
I want to hear believe.
Lectures, because I believe that.
I believe. It sounds like your E sound does go a little high on placement. So like believe, Eve versus believe, leave. Because I believe that. I guess just a note there as well. Other things are kind of standing out to me here. Because I believe that.
In the lectures, because I believe that it's a lot better than passive listening to a professor speak.
Passively.
That is a lot better than passive listening to a professor.
Passively, I want to hear that last syllable. I think you're saying passively, like than passively listening. I don't feel like I'm hearing the E at the end.
That is a lot better than passive listening to a professor.
I think I'm hearing passive listening versus passively listening. Just adding an E there at the end of passively.
Professor speak, and like that really makes your knowledge a lot more permanent. That really makes your knowledge a lot more permanent.
A lot more permanent. That really makes your knowledge a lot more permanent. I like your shifts there. That really makes your knowledge, and then you shift things down a little bit, a lot more permanent. That really makes your knowledge, that's your higher thought group, and then you have that lower one, a lot more permanent.
That really makes your knowledge a lot more permanent.
Yeah, so I like I'm shifting there. I do want to hear the word knowledge.
Like that really makes your knowledge a lot.
Knowledge. That feels very closed off to me. Knowledge versus knowledge. So I would try to open up that vowel a little bit more, just to get a little bit more air through, because it just feels a little bit closed off to me.
I always ask a lot of questions during the lectures, because I believe that it's a lot better than passive listening to a professor speak, and like that really makes your knowledge a lot more permanent.
Yeah. So the big thing there, just a couple of vowel sounds I identified to kind of just take a look at in some placement things. But in general, I think you're doing a great job with just kind of pitch. I like what you're doing with your intonation patterns, and just your general rhythm of the sentences, I think, is very natural sounding. So kudos to you on the work. I think you're doing some good stuff there. You had some questions on anything specific that I mentioned, be sure to let me know. Oh my gosh, I should have grabbed a glass of water before I did this. That was not a good move on my part. But guys, again, just a moment. You do have some time. Last call for sending in a file. Okay. All right. But in the meantime, I think we have time for one file here. This is our last one. Let us take a listen to this.
Hey everyone, it's Jeff.
All my troubles seem so far.
Okay, alright.
We've arrived at a very special moment in our show. Although Rumeza says, thank you. No, thank you. Doing some great stuff. I'm just so glad you're here. It's just so nice to see Rumeza back in the stream. Especially like late night on Saturday. Anyways, let us take a listen to this file. I'll be honest, Singer, if you're watching this and I don't listen to the whole thing, I do have to apologize. I am wiped out, and I am very interested in sleeping. But I'm going to do what I can with this file. Let us take a listen to this. All right. So, for the moment, it seems like it's our last file of today. And guys, if you have gotten any sort of value from anything that we have done today, there's one way that you can help me out as well.
Like what you're hearing? Let us know by liking and subscribing.
All right, let us take a listen to this.
God has challenged us to be strong in the power of his strength. The Bible says in 1 John chapter 4, verse 4, you are of God, little children, and have overcome them, because he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world.
Definitely more of some
See,
British
we are
influences,
admonished
right?
to live with his mentality. God said in his anchor verse, do not be afraid of them. Do not fear those who kill the body but cannot kill the soul. But rather fear those who can
This whole thing just
can
gotta be
destroy both
taken from the
soul and body in hell. No matter what you're going through, the Lord is with you. He will never leave nor forsake you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, why don't we have a little prayer before we jump to the next part?
This could go a
Heavenly
million
Father,
directions.
thank you for the new day and all the blessings it brings. We ask for your guidance and presence as we go about our daily tasks and responsibilities. Please give us strength and resilience to face whatever challenges may come our way, and help us be a source of love and support for those around us. Heavenly Father, I pray that Fluent American and his students will have a great session together. That will have a wonderful time learning English all together. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen. Is that how they say amen? Amen or amen? I'll be honest, guys. I am completely wiped out, so I might have to pause our stream here. Singer, I'm sorry, but I hope you can understand. My apologies. If you guys are curious about the whole file, you can find it in the document. But yes, this again has been an episode of the Schwa Mill. And guys, we have so many opportunities. If you find anything that we did today helpful, just kind of let you know for all different points, So I know that we're all in different stages and we're all in different situations. So part of the reason we have this whole YouTube channel is try to make pronunciation practice accessible to everybody. I think the things that we talk about on this channel are not things that are found in other channels with regards to pronunciation. So if you're looking for introductions to breath and placement and pitch and vowels and things like that, that's why we have the YouTube videos. That's our base level. But if you're trying to get some more personalized feedback for yourself, another option that we have is a Telegram group. It's for $5 a month. What you can do is you can join and send in a pronunciation file every day of the week. We listen to it and give suggestions. Okay. So it's just like a quick 2-minute practice, because that's the key thing with pronunciation, right? You need just trying to get into that consistent practice. Just like, okay, I'm doing my 2 minutes a day. I'm doing my 5 minutes a day, just to kind of keep moving and putting one step forward. That's one of the reasons why we have that Telegram group. If you were looking for even more practice in direct and in class setting, that's why we have Mission English. You pay once for the month and then you get access to all of these streams. Okay, so you get to practice with me every day, Monday through Friday, twice a day for 30 minutes, all of our concepts. I don't know of a better value out there. But then, of course, we also have private classes as well. So those are all just opportunities that we have at different scales for people who are interested in taking their American English to the next level consistently. Because again, pronunciation, if you're interested in making changes, something you need to put some time in every day. Guys, once more, my name is Jeff. Thank you so much for spending some time with me here live or on the replay for watching this in the future. Do keep an eye out for our next video coming out. Hopefully I can get it out tomorrow. If I can't get it out tomorrow, then definitely early next week. But again, my name is Jeff. This is Fluent American, specifically the Schwa Mill, where we help you craft your accent every single Saturday. Thanks so much for your time. I hope you guys have a good day, a good night, and a good afternoon, and take care.